Hello and welcome back to another 1v1 Beyond a Reason video. We are back on Eternal Consequences again for the last match in our series of Apprentice League matches with, again, Lord Vedor and Noctis this time. Now, this was one of the last matches out of all the matches that were sent to me. This is one of the last ones, so of this map at least. So again, if you missed some of the other ones earlier on, what is the Apprentice League? Well, it's hosted by the Fight Night crew, where they do no OS kind of needed 1v1 tournaments every Wednesday Central European time. You can just sign up on the APM website, and it's more focused on learning and improving than necessarily being the best there ever was. So if you want to improve in 1v1s and get better in the game in general, it's the perfect place to join. So recommend you check it out and go join them over there. Well, if you're in Europe, especially. If you're in the US, maybe a bit difficult for you, but depending on how much you're willing to get up early. And we're also looking for people to help them organize the tournament. So if you're interested, don't forget to join their Discord and go for the tournament APM website and so on and so forth. You get the gist. Now, let's look at what we've got. So Noctis has got Armada, pumping heavy into wind right now. And as we look over at Vedor, playing Cortex this time as a bit of a mixture of wind and solar. Both players choosing the same start position here in the rear, which, bear in mind, last time Vedor chose a position like this here, kind of off to the side. It was actually like this one, I think. I don't know. Starting to lose track of what's what on these maps now as I've watched them 3 games in a row. Vedor going vehicles, we went through that last time, but for those that didn't see the previous one, reason for vehicles here is that although it looks like quite a hilly map, especially towards the center, vehicles can pass quite easily there. So it's not really a problem. Actually, as we kind of zoom down to flat level, like that actually isn't as kind of steep as it looks like it is from above. It looks like that's quite steep, but no, it's not. This side, maybe. That side, not quite so much. But Vedor looks like he's going for a defensive start here. He's got a couple of incisors defending his expansion con, as well as getting LRTs down at every expansion. Well, except where his commander is, at least. Incisor here sat to defending the metal extractor that's off on its own, at least until he can kind of get a bit of fortifications down. Vedor's com able there to defend successfully, getting the tiny amount of reclaim that is there. This will make it pretty difficult for Noctis to get much value from these early scouting units. It's going to force him to transition over to something a bit heavier sooner maybe than he was hoping for. Early games, getting some great raids in can really make the difference between early game tempo. But Vedor has left nothing available here to be grabbed at all by defending every swathe of his area. Oh, you did get one. Commander is there to instantly rebuild it though, so not the end of the world. So we switch over to Noctis's view here. See the first con turret going down as Noctis has kept his commander in base as opposed to Vedor's plan, which was using it for expansion here. And with one con here already starting to build up excess energy, he's got 2 cons expanding, which is tremendous. He's going to get that built very, very quickly. Which, to be fair, why not? Your opponent's being very, very defensive, so why not greed a little bit? Actually, I take that back. He's got 4 cons expanding. Extremely greedy start from Noctis. We'll see what happens though. And that incisor somehow managed to pull off one-to-one trade there. That was pretty good. Noctis e-stalling at the moment, though, as we see here at the top, when wind's down quite a bit at the moment. A mine layer out, actually, from Noctis. Is he going to build walls or is he building mines? Mines. Lots and lots of mines. LLT unable to fire effectively, meaning that these incisors break through very, very easily. Yeah, another metal extractor getting destroyed. And although it's out of view, 2 of the expansion cons have just been taken out. Ooh, and now the problem of chaining your stuff too close to each other. That one incisor, just for the momentary lapse, manages to pick up 2 metal extractors and about 4 wins. But literally like volley after volley. And this wave over here is what managed to take out the 2 expansion cons of Noctis. So Noctis losing 2 cons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 metal extractors, and a bunch of wins. Is quite a sizable loss this early in the game. Now these incisors do take out the LLT defending it. Will they get any more than that? Probably not, as this one incisor is trying to run away. Noctis not paying attention. Lets it get away. Oh dear. Getting so many wins. Poor Noctis. Definitely struggling there. Mine's been placed in the middle though. Light mines at that. So not really going to do too much. Like, he could have in theory used the mine layer to wall off that side, right? And then that's one less avenue to worry about. But no, built light mines instead. Another metal extraction, blah blah blah. Another metal extractor there, gotten by a scout from Vedor. Just slowly picking his enemy apart here. Noctis yet to take back the initiative. Playing defensive now. All the pressure that Vedor's been putting on is kind of put him on the back foot a bit. Mines will have been detected now by Vedor. He would have got that notification as he drives over the light mines and keeps driving over the light mines. Your incisors are not mine clearers, Vedor. Oh dear. Although that mine kerfuffle has kind of given Noctis a bit of initiative back here. Vedor having a pull back. These forces are just sitting in the defensive here for Noctis on both sides. Now, Vedor does have access to armed metal extractors, which he is making use of with his expansion cons. He is a lot slower expanding though. He does only have a single con on each direction, slowly expanding, as opposed to the double con that Noctis has. But there is less having to be built, as he only has to build like, you know, 1 armed exploiter. Now, I think we did the math at one point, and like the armed exploiter and LLT, or the metal extractor and LLT combined, take about the same build time as a metal extractor armed one. There were some bonuses to it. I don't remember. Someone want to do the maths and let us know in the comments. Vedor freely expanded in the middle. He's being very patient back here in his base. He's not even really building much combat units. Building some pounders, just planning to go defensive again by the looks of it. Noctis needs to put some pressure on here. He's been quite lax. That aggression that Vedor put on him is really kind of put him on a bit of a defensive back foot. Now only just starting to posture forward. Doesn't quite know where things are. Maybe could have done with having a scout or at least 1 or 2 in his army. Armed metal extractor detected. Be enough to just push him back, but there's another LLT in 2 and then even more going up. This path is going to be pretty hard for him to push through. And then with incisors over here defending the con, going to be hard for those blitzes to get much value. Oh, but he does go in anyway. Just as the pounder arrives. Oh, what horrific timing for Noctis. And although Vedor does lose the metal extractor, with 2 cons now here, you should be able to rebuild it in a pretty quick pace. And Vedor has been left to have free reign of the center of the map. No real expansion to the south by Noctis. Noctis has expanded to the north though. There's 1 con trying to take the high ground here. Prioritizing metal extractors over defensive first, which generally should be really what you do. The longer you leave a metal extractor uncapped, the less value you're getting from it. Some people see uncapped mexes as like excess metal in a way, like because it's metal that's just gone into the ether because it doesn't have an extractor on it, so it's just wasted the whole time. It's not actually capped. It's an interesting thought when you think about it that way. Like every second that 2.9 wasn't capped, 2.9 metal is just gone, just disappeared. Technically no one's getting it, so it's technically not a loss, but if you think about it, it kind of is at the same time. Noctis though, with Tech 2 just coming up online, with the first Tech 2 con and 2 consoles out already, starting to get the economy up and running. Makes sense considering well, Vedor's not really being aggressive here, so there's not really a reason for him to not go Tech 2. Whereas Vedor on the opposite side here is actually prepping a bombing run. Now around this time in a 1v1 is probably when you start expecting air. So that's probably why Vedor started doing it. He also has access to shurikens, as we mentioned before. Extremely useful unit for techs. Now, he will be going up against Jags, which will shoot the bombers down. So, see how they cope. It does look like he's not over-investing into air here. You can see him now going into shurikens. Just going to keep some on the go, but that's as much bombers as he was planning on building. 6 of them. Scouts going over first to provide the vision. Unless it gets shot down by a Jag. Alright, time to plan the bombing run. What? AA's going up, flak coming out. Bit too late though, as huge swaths of winds get taken out. Not quite as much damage as it could have been, and if he wasn't Tech 2, it would have been a lot worse. But he does need to now think about his energy before just blindly upgrading everything to Tech 2. He's going to need a lot more energy production, which he doesn't currently have. Meanwhile, in the middle, already seeing some Mausers accompanying these Jags. Still no Tech 2 from Vedor here, and instead just shurikens. But the Jags are surely just going to shoot down the shurikens. And that is exactly what happens. But Pounders still perfectly useful versus Jags. Where are those going? Power of pounders. I don't care. Gonna march into your base. Okay, maybe against bulls they don't quite work. It's too slow. Just getting outranged. Take out a couple of metal extractors, but still. Beamers are just going to be too much. What? Sprinters? Where the heck did the sprinter come from? He made sprinters with the consoles. Why were you making the sprinters with the consoles? Okay, that was not what I was expecting. But as you can see here now, Noctis has just been upgrading mechs after mechs and now has no energy at all to speak of. Is in a huge deficit of like 300, 400 energy a second. And that number's going up now as he starts trying to build bulls and res bots. And it's going to go up even more as he now starts to start a fusion. Almost 1,000 energy deficit right now. He needs to kind of chill out and stop building so many things at the same time. Starting to get it back under control. He's actually switched back to Jags, which is oh yeah, it's because he's building a Jag instead of a bull, which is like twice the amount of energy. And the resbots are eating a huge chunk of energy right now as well. But whilst this stall has been taking place and Noctis slowly kind of getting things together, Vedor's just built a huge clump of Tech 1 that he's now just sent out to the corners of the map, just clearing any expansion that Noctis has. And so far, working pretty well. He has... Interesting. So he did transition to Tech 2. He ate his lab in order to get his metal extractors built and a fusion built. But he's now going back into mass Tech 1. With 4 Tech 2 cons out and just gonna pump Tech 1 units. Now with 4 bulls making their way towards the base, he needs to pump out a lot of units to be able to deal with those bulls. Or is he going for a com? He's gone for a com D-gun. Right, this is extremely ballsy. 1, 2, 3. One more ball left. Vedor not able to close distance. But the threat level of that attack is now dropped drastically. And that managed to work out very well for Vedor. This pounder wall is still going at the bottom. 15 pounders about to run into a lot of beamers. Just able to do literally like tickling the ball. I mean, it has eventually killed it, but I mean, not really done that much, really, have they? I mean, saying that, they did manage to get through here. Sneaky sneak. Not that sneaky because there's a radar. And they're going to have to run into a whole bunch of more beams. There are so many beamers by Noctis. So many beamers. Meanwhile, on this top side, a couple more bulls just making their way downtown. Trying to find value where they can. Vedor still going mass tech 1. Still no vision on going tech 2 here at all. No air again either. His opponent has built how much AA? 2 normal AAs, a couple of flaks. Not that much in the grand scheme of things, but actually we can work out exactly how much that is. 1,000 metal. But all the numbers are currently looking very, very blue. Metal produced. Huge number difference between those two players there. 83k to 67k. And that's just with how quickly Noctis was able to get up all of those Tech 2 metal extractors. Now, we did struggle for energy at one point, but it's paying off now as Vedor's still only getting some of his metal extractors up to Tech 2. As you can see here, one of the triple is still not even started yet. Bull's running into a mixture of twin guards and exploiters here. Damaging them. There is some attrition here, but it's like 4 bulls, like not the end of the world really. Worth it cost to clear up some defenses and stuff for you to start spamming units for it. Now the biggest worry is this stuff up the top as we move across to it now, as Resbots are moving behind. And there is a sizable force here of 19 tanks, including that one, and 2 bulls versus 2 bulls and some ticks. Now 3 brutes have gone down before even a single bull has. And as they now reach bull reinforcements, you can see how quickly Tech 1 get outclassed as brutes are just getting destroyed before they even get to fire. And although they get a metal extractor, you can just count the brute wrecks. Bear in mind there's debris as well. We're talking like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for 1 bull and a metal extractor. But again, Vedor able to find value. He's managing to find gaps in defense. There goes a Tech 2 metal extractor. Will he be able to get any more? Probably not. But it is forcing reactions constantly from Noctis, and this is forcing Noctis to play Vedor's game rather than Noctis dictating it. But Noctis looks like he's got a plan of his own here. A nuke has been built and is starting its production of its anti-nuke. Vedor, on the other hand, has no anti-nuke yet. He's still technically got time to build one. I think it'll be very, very close. But Vedor instead looks like he's going for a, I mean, no lookalike about it. He's going for Tech 2 air. He is losing ground hard and is yet still now deciding to go Tech 2 air. He's looking for a snipe maybe to try and finish this. Tech 2 defenses are going down on the front line for Vedor, which is making Noctis a bit more hesitant about pushing in. But Noctis does own a large majority of the map. Juno's going out here again to deal with the tick spam. A bit short on that one though. Oh, base Juno. Well, that'll be annoying. Oh. What did they not die? Oh, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say they should die in that effect whilst it's up. Transition over to pawns instead. Pretty normal. But the biggest thing here is the loss of radar. Should have been. Ah, the radar back here, just outside of the range. Does he see it? He sees air moving there if he'd noticed it. Noctis, not so much. Plenty of tech one being poured out here from Vedor, and everything's going pretty slow. The nuke is ready. We keep that on our bottom. Selected. We should see when he goes to use it. Meanwhile, strap bombers being planned here from Vedor. Does Vedor have any vision? We need to select Vedor for that. He does not know it's there. He has no clue that a nuke is heading his way. At some point in the future, there's almost a second nuke ready. Grunts get completely demolished by the tick spam. An armed exploiter? No. Right, here comes the air. Keep an eye on that because that's the important thing. Fighters are there as well. Nuke still not being launched yet. Strap bombers coming over. He will have seen the nuke now. They went for a comm snipe. Missed it, but did get a fusion. Nukes being launched. Silo doors are open. Does not manage to launch the nuke. Ended up having 2 nukes in it. And now huge damage being inflicted. If only Noctis had paid more attention, he could have got that done sooner. That nuke was ready to go and he chose not to use it. Fusion destroyed again, and all of the support for these strap bombers have now already died, so whatever he can get here now is just bonus basically. He's gonna land on that. Yeah, did damage it though. Oof, so much metal invested into those nukes to just go down the drain. Now there is still again a significant metal difference between them, but with over 4k invested into that nuke, and then you got the 2 missiles inside of it as well, to basically get nothing from it is a huge loss. Very, very fortunate timing there from Vedor. If Noctis had been a bit more on the ball, we could have seen a very, very different game. Poor gunships, no fight support at all. Pounding this bull army. And who needs tech 2 when you've got tech 3? And it could very well be huge bull loss there. And now with tech 3 starting to make its way down. I mean, he does still have this army of bulls up here, but he's not doing anything with it. Noctis has been very defensive. He's just ecoing up. His plan was the nuke, and now that the nuke's gone, it's like he's struggling to work out what to do. So we select the reservoir. 16k of metal over on that side where that bull army was, and that is getting rezzed straight away, ready to send back. Beamer's trying to, well, I don't know quite what these reservoirs are doing here. Nothing. Just go in the line. Yeah, just stand there in front of the defenses. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go. Finally resurrecting. This army has no resistance. I mean, there is quite a few defenses there, but still. Tech 3 making their way, marching ever so forward. Ever so slightly forward, at least. Bit by bit, just controlling this reclaim field, basically, so that Vedor can res all of this stuff up and running. And to be honest, I think it's going to be hard for Noctis to pull this off now. It's one of those things, it's like you have a plan, right? He had his plan, nuke. That's his whole thing relied around that. Now that that plan's gone, he needs to think of a way of coming back from that. A new plan to win the match. And his new plan to win the match is apparently, let me build another nuke. I don't think that's going to work. Now that he knows you like to build nukes, he's just going to build an anti-nuke, which he's already doing. The better play probably would have been to go tech 3 of his own. I think he's realized that, actually. Look, you can see he started it and now he's eating it again. Too many Shivas. Just destroying these bulls before they even get a chance to shoot. Teaching them what it's like to be a brute versus a bull. So many explosions. And that's it. The bull army dead. Maybe he needs to mix in a couple of starlights. Bulls aren't going to cut it. He needs bulls to field to the front and get some starlights in to deal with the Shivas, but at this point, it's just already too late. Just look at the mass. 14 Shivas here. With Resbots in the back already resurrecting anything that was there. He is going to attempt attack 3. He's even going to attempt to put pulsars down, but I think it's just all just a little too late. Also, placing Demas in front of pulsars will block them shooting, so actually, as we select Noctis here, he's building a lot of energy. He's not building any energy conversion though. Right now he's sat at like almost double his energy production. Oh, the plan to start Tech 3 has been removed as well, and this Shiva force is getting closer and closer. He's trying to build a pulsar and a bulwark at the same time. The panic has set in clearly as he's trying to do anything he can possibly do to try and stave off this attack. But, I mean, I don't think the second lab was a good idea. Trying to push in with the bulls here in an attempt to try and have enough time to build this pulsar and bulwark, but just look at how long it's taking. You cannot hold off for 2 minutes. And even then, he just goes around there. And there we go. All the progress destroyed. See how many you can get with a D gun. 2, 3, 4.
Commander destroyed.
Well played. There was no way he was going to D-gun like 14 Shivas. But, yeah. Oh, and here comes the radar jammer right at the end. Yeah, a bit late on that one, I'm afraid.
Battle ended.
GG. Vedor almost lost that to that nuke. If Noctis would have fired it when it was ready, completely different game. But that delay, that hesitation cost him the match. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, all that YouTube malarkey. And I'll see you all next time.